We all know that gardening provides tremendous benefits for seniors and the elderly. But what if you use a wheelchair? How can you reap those same benefits? Hi, my name is Scott Green. I'm a certified senior advisor and senior home safety specialist with grayandwithgrace.com. Today's video is all about using raised garden beds for wheelchair users, how to set up a wheelchair accessible garden space, and tips and techniques for making gardening from a wheelchair easier.
Gardening for All, the ultimate guide to wheelchair-accessible raised garden beds. The benefits of having a wheelchair-accessible raised garden bed include improved accessibility and mobility, increased independence, and access to fresh air, sunshine, and the natural environment. Additionally, such beds can reduce the need for assistance when gardening and provide a sense of purpose and accomplishment.
Check out some of our favorite wheelchair-accessible raised garden beds in the description below.
Hacks and tricks for making a raised garden bed. Of course, you don't have to buy a new raised bed to participate in elevated gardening. You can use any planters, window boxes, or even buckets and find a way to raise them to a functional height for a wheelchair user. Here are some ideas. Use old pallets, stack old tires and buckets, use concrete blocks, large stones, or pavers, turn an old dresser into a stylish raised bed, repurpose an old large planter, build a simple 2x4 wooden frame, repurpose an old window frame as a raised bed, mount some window boxes onto an old picnic table, line any wooden box or crate with a plastic liner. Make sure that any homemade, DIY, or raised bed hacks you use are stable and secure and won't tip over. Soil weighs more than you think, especially when it's wet. Finding the right raised garden beds for your needs. Raised garden beds should be at least 30 inches tall to allow a wheelchair user to easily access the bed from any direction and comfortably reach the plants, soil, and other materials in the bed. Measure your wheelchair to make sure you have proper clearance. Adjustable legs or hoisting mechanisms help vary the bed height as needed. The raised bed should be at least 22 inches wide to provide safe and easy access for a wheelchair. Make sure your wheelchair will fit between the legs of it. Ensure the bed is wide enough to provide adequate space for all your gardening activities. A raised bed should be 12 inches deep to provide enough soil for growing plants. Research the types of plants you want to grow and their soil depth requirements to ensure that they are appropriate. Include a plastic liner to prevent water and moisture from seeping. Wheelchair raised beds should be made of materials that are easy to clean, moisture resistant, and strong enough to hold soil, water, and plants. Wood is an inexpensive and easy to shape and form material, but it is susceptible to rot and needs to be treated with a sealant to protect it from moisture. Metal has many advantages, such as being durable and long-lasting. However, it is also quite expensive and prone to rust and corrosion. Plastic is a popular material choice due to its lightweight and affordable nature. It is less strong and more durable than wood or metal and is prone to cracking. Bricks are an attractive and durable material for construction, but they come with a few drawbacks. They can be expensive and heavy, making them difficult to install. Concrete is renowned for its durability and ability to be customized. Still, it is also quite heavy, expensive to install, and to work with. Cedar is naturally waterproof and attractive, but more expensive. Recycled plastic and wood fiber combinations are good choices too. When selecting a raised garden bed, it is essential to ensure adequate drainage. This is accomplished through drain holes or slatted bottoms that allow excess water to escape and prevent plants from becoming waterlogged. If necessary, you can add additional drain holes. The type of soil a plant requires will determine whether drainage holes are essential. Some plants require well-draining soils, while others prefer wetter environments. Be careful with drainage when watering plants. Water may come through the soil and onto you and your wheelchair while watering. You can add drainage holes to most raised beds by drilling them yourself. Having a raised bed that is easily accessible from each side is important. This ensures that the bed provides easy reach from different angles, allowing for easier harvest, maintenance, and general access. Beds that are too large may be difficult to reach from the side or back without additional equipment. Too narrow, and they may not provide enough space for a wheelchair user to maneuver. Consider adding rails or side supports to help people in wheelchairs stay stable while tending to their garden. Many raised beds will require some assembly before being used. This often includes constructing the garden box, attaching the frame, filling the bed with soil, and installing the plants. If you or your loved one need assistance with this part of the process, have a plan before delivery. Having a cover or shade for an elevated garden is vital for both the plants and the wheelchair user. For plants, the shade helps protect them from direct sunlight, which can damage them and reduce growth, and helps keep the soil moist. For wheelchair users, the shade provides a comfortable place to rest and protects them from direct sunlight, which can be especially helpful in hot climates. Additionally, the cover can help protect the wheelchair user from rain and wind. How to build a raised garden bed for wheelchair users. Are you thinking of building your own? Here's a quick synopsis of the process with some resources for developing your building plan. Measure the intended area to determine how large a raised bed you can build. It is vital to measure the area twice to ensure accuracy. Mark the measurements on the ground with chalk or spray paint to help you visualize the shape of the bed. Select durable materials that can withstand the elements. Wood or metal for the walls and a waterproof liner for the bottom are common choices. Reinforce the legs to support the weight of the soil and the plants. Prepare the ground or patio by leveling the area and removing any debris. Ensure the site is free of rocks or other objects that can make wheelchair navigation difficult. If the ground is uneven, consider using gravel or sand to level it out. Then cover it with a solid, wheelchair-friendly surface. Construct the bed and legs using the measurements taken in Step 1 and any raised wheelchair bed building plans you may have. Use a level to ensure that the bed stays level at every step of the construction process. Add a waterproof liner to the bottom of the bed if you aren't using waterproof materials. This will help prevent water from leaking out. Use a liner that is durable and UV resistant so that it won't crack prematurely in the sun. Fill the bed with soil and compost. Make sure the soil is loose and well drained. Mix in some sand or vermiculite to help with drainage. Add finishing touches such as decorative stones, furniture, or other accessories to make the bed more aesthetically pleasing. Add a trellis for vertical gardens or an arbor to add shade. Many resources are available to help understand the basics of building a raised wheelchair bed, such as books, magazines, and websites. I'll have links to these resources in the description below. Books such as The Lifelong Gardener, Garden with Ease and Joy at Any Age by Tony Gatone, Gardening from a Wheelchair by Ben Elliott, and Accessible Gardening for People with Physical Disabilities by Janine R. Adel, all provide comprehensive advice on gardening from a wheelchair. Websites such as The Fresh Patio and This Old House provide helpful resources and plans for building raised beds. Additionally, local garden centers or community spaces may provide wheelchair-accessible raised beds and educational programs for those interested in gardening. Care and Maintenance Guide for Raised Wheelchair Beds. Ensure the plants get enough water, and water the plants in the morning or evening to avoid evaporation. Prune the plants to keep them healthy and promote growth. Use sharp, clean pruning shears to avoid damaging the plants. Fertilize the soil often to help the plants grow. Use organic fertilizers to avoid damaging the plants or the environment. Remove any weeds that may be growing in the raised bed. Pull the weeds out by the roots to prevent them from growing back. Check the raised beds for any pests or diseases that may be present. Use natural pest control methods whenever possible. Remove any debris or dead plants from the raised bed. Use a garden rake or vacuum cleaner to help keep the bed looking neat. Inspect the raised bed for any signs of damage or wear and tear. Check the bed frame for any cracks or signs of rotting wood. Locate the bed in an appropriate location in your garden. The best site is usually where the bed will get 8 to 12 hours of sunlight and near a water source. Use a shade cover in hot areas with constant sun. Tools and techniques for raised bed gardening. Gardening gloves can help protect a person's hands from dirt and grime while gardening, so dirt isn't transferred to their hand rims. Gloves also help protect the skin from any sharp objects or thorns. Choose gloves that are comfortable and provide a good grip. Long-handled tools such as trowels and gardening forks can help a person in a wheelchair reach plants and soil without having to lean over, especially in beds wider than 18 inches. Ergonomic gardening tools such as cultivators, hoes, and spades can help a person in a wheelchair work more efficiently and comfortably in the garden. Choose tools with curved handles that fit comfortably in your hand. A watering can helps a person in a wheelchair quickly water their plants without having to bend or stretch. Choose a watering can with a long spout and an ergonomic handle. Plant supports keep plants upright and are more accessible for a person in a wheelchair to reach. Choose plant supports that are adjustable and easy to remove. Plant markers can help a person in a wheelchair identify and remember the plants in their garden. Use UV-approved and waterproof markers to make your writing less likely to fade. Creating a wheelchair-accessible garden space. When creating an accessible garden space, choosing an area of level ground is essential to make it easier for a wheelchair to move around the garden. Ramps can make it easy for wheelchairs to access different parts of the garden. Make sure they have a non-slip surface and are wide enough for the wheelchair. Pathways should be wide enough for wheelchairs and have a non-slip surface. Consider using gravel, mulch, or paving stones. When designing the garden, consider the needs of the wheelchair user. Place raised beds and containers at a height that is easy to reach. Install an irrigation system. Install an irrigation system to make watering the garden easier. Consider using a soaker hose or a water timer to automate the watering process. Select tools designed for easy use. Look for tools with long handles and ergonomic grips to make them easier to use. Plants that are not poisonous and do not have sharp thorns or spines. This will help ensure the safety of the wheelchair user. Add seating to the garden in a shady spot to provide a place of rest. We hope this guide to wheelchair-accessible raised garden beds was helpful and invite you to share it with your friends on social media. If you have any questions, comments, or information to add, please do so in the comments below. And thanks for visiting Graying with Grace.